What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. This just in some recent tweets from Adrian Broner, and they were aimed at Marcos Maidana. Here's what he had to say. Danny Swift, hey bro, fuck that dude up, and then I'm gonna go handle the other Argentine. Motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. Y'all praising these two Argentines, but they both been beat plenty of times. Fuck out of here. And then the last tweet. A lot of people talking shit, but what happens when I fuck this Argentine motherfucker up? Then what? So, as far as me, I just say fight already. Obviously, Adrian Broner and Marcos Maidana have exchanged tweets. I reported about this previously. It's a fight that I think the fans would be interested in seeing. I'm on board with seeing. Make the fight happen. I'm from the old school. I don't really do the Twitter back and forth kind of thing. Occasionally, some of you dumb motherfuckers come on my channel, and I will have my little sparring session and fuck you guys up with facts and boxing knowledge and let you know how much you don't know about the sport. But for the most part, I do that for fun. So that might be for Adrian Broner. But he's a professional fighter, so I want to just see the fight happen. If he's on board for the fight, Golden Boy should have no problems making the fight. I think Richard Schaefer has stated, and De La Hoya, that this is a fight they'd be interested. Marcos Maidana wants the fight. He's tweeted that openly. And he wants a title shot. Adrian Broner snatched the title off of Paulie Malignaggi. And the fight, I think it would be a fun fight. I've said this time and time again. Some of you guys leave crazy comments. Both fighters have a shot to win. Marcos Maidana, because he's bigger, stronger, most likely, at welterweight. But stop comparing anything you've seen in the Paulie Malignaggi fight to Marcos Maidana. Paulie Malignaggi and Marcos Maidana are completely different fighters in pretty much every shape there is. Marcos Maidana is a lot slower, both his hand speed and his foot speed. He's not like a high volume puncher. He punches 10 times harder than Paulie Malignaggi. Just a very different contrast of styles. It's apples and oranges. Really not the same thing. So any success you've seen Paulie Malignaggi have, that doesn't mean Maidana will have that same success. Can he beat Broner? Yeah. But it would be a different fight, and it would be for different reasons than Paulie Malignaggi's success. If Maidana won, in my opinion, it would be because of sheer strength and brute force. But a lot of people I've seen in the boxing world, you guys get power happy. Because a fighter has power, you think that's the end-all, be-all. That's the only thing that matters. And in boxing, it really doesn't. There's a lot of people who have fought people who are stronger. You look at Chavez Sr. versus Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker wasn't known for being a devastating puncher. However, he outboxed the shit out of Chavez Sr. And, I mean, I can think of countless examples of where this is true. I don't really have to go on and on. But Adrian Broner, it looks like he has some pop to himself, to his punches, has some snap on them. Even if Marcos Maidana is a harder puncher, he still has to deal with the speed. And I would say Adrian Broner probably has more power than Amir Khan. Amir Khan, if you look at Amir Khan's record, mostly TKOs. He doesn't really have many knockouts. Adrian Broner has had some actual knockouts, and I think he has a higher KO ratio. So, again, they're different fights. They're different weight classes. Adrian Broner also looked very slow in comparison to his previous fights and his last fight. So, it might have been an issue with him getting acclimated to a new weight division. So, I would assume he would look better after settling in to 147, being a fight or two in. If you look at Marcos Maidana, when he went up to welterweight, his very first fight, he lost to Devin Alexander. And out of all of Marcos Maidana's welterweight fights, he looked the worst in that fight. So people keep bringing up this Paulie Malignaggi, Adrian Broner situation, but realistically, that was his first fight. He jumped up 2 weight classes against a crafty, slippery fighter like Paulie Malignaggi. Look at other fighters, like I said, Marcos Maidana, when he first went up to welterweight, he didn't jump up 2 weight classes. He was at 140 and then he went to 147 and lost to Devin Alexander when he fought a slippery, crafty fighter. Marcos Maidana lost, and he lost more convincingly than Adrian Broner. If you feel Adrian Broner should have lost to Paulie Malignaggi, Broner definitely captured the championship rounds and mid to late rounds. He looked better. So, again, if you vote Marcos Maidana would stop Broner, that's fine. That's your opinion. That's great. But don't use Paulie Malignaggi versus Broner as your gauge as to why he'll win. That fight has nothing to do with it. Um, like I said, it's apples and oranges. But I'm looking forward to this fight. Hopefully they make it and shut the hell up and get on with the fight. I want to see it. I want to see how Broner looks his second fight at welterweight. He did have issues with Paulie Malignaggi, but again, I think they were for different reasons than what Marcos Maidana would provide. Marcos Maidana looks to be improving with Robert Garcia. I really like Marcos Maidana, just because he's an entertaining fighter. He has heart, he has chin. He's definitely susceptible to body shots, and normally from past Broner fights, Broner is a great body puncher. I didn't really see him get off his speed or body punching that much in the Paulie Malignaggi fight. I gotta watch it again, but if you watch the Antonio DeMarco Broner fight, he utilized those two skills very well in that fight. And if that's the case, I see him stopping Maidana, unless Maidana just overpowers him or just catches him with something crazy. But again, in the sport of boxing, it's not all about power. I mean, Eric Morales gave Marcos Maidana a run for his money. You guys got to be realistic. Like, some of you guys aren't realistic. At 140, Eric Morales gave Marcos Maidana all he could handle. Even though Maidana won that fight, it was a pretty much a tarnished, older version of Eric Morales. That's what a lot of you guys say when Danny Garcia beat Eric Morales. You said he was washed up. And he fought Marcos Maidana not too far before that. Not that many fights before that. And he gave Marcos Maidana all he can handle. Marcos Maidana, again, he does better in fights like Josecito Lopez, where it's very basic and they just come to scrap. He doesn't have to track his person down. He doesn't have to deal with movement. They just stand in front of him and trade. What's his name? Jesus Soto Caras fights like that. I mean, I think you're going to see the best version of Marcos Maidana. A fighter with boxing IQ, ring generalship, lateral movement, angles, speed, and power. Those fighters are going to give Marcos Maidana problems. But Marcos Maidana, again, he's improving. He's using a jab a lot more, different things like that. So he does have an equalizer with his power. We shall see. Hopefully this fight is made. Let me know what you think. Do you want to see this fight, Marcos Maidana versus Adrian Broner? Leave a comment. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego, signing off.